Hi, Muslims often attack other people's belief and say, "You are committing blasphemy, my friend," which they call shirk in Islam. Shirk means associating partners with Allah, i.e. elevating another entity or being to the same level of Allah. Shirk is the unforgivable sin in Islam, which means Allah will never forgive you for committing this act, i.e. blasphemy. Now many Muslims who become Quran only Muslims lately even call the Shahada blasphemy, i.e. shirk, because Muhammad is mentioned in one and the same sentence with Allah, which Quran only Muslims consider as shirk or blasphemy, and we have actually to agree with them. Are you allowed in Islam to replace Muhammad's name in the Shahada? Let's say with the name of Moses? The answer is no. So the Islamic Shahada according Muslims is there is no God besides Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. Unfortunately, this is not the only problem, because the Quran itself contains shirk, in other words, blasphemy, which is, as I mentioned earlier, associating partners with Allah. But more than 75% of the Muslim population in this world, they don't know Arabic and they don't understand what they read in the Arabic Quran. Now the non-Arabic speaking Muslims, i.e. the 75% of the non-Arabic speaking world, only listen to their imams, ustaz or scholars, to what they have to say and believe in what their scholars teach them, especially when it comes to the Arabic Quranic ayahs of the Quran. So do most Muslims actually read and understand the Arabic Quran? Do Muslims actually know what the Quranic ayahs mean? Do they even know what the Arabic says? The answer is no. And today we are going to prove that to you, that most Muslims in the world have no clue what the Arabic Quran says. And also, today's video is the evidence that most Muslims are unfortunately dependent on the lies, taqiyya and deception of the Muslim translators and scholars, because they simply do not know Arabic and have no idea and no clue what the Arabic ayahs in the Arabic Quran mean. On top of that, Muslims are taught by their scholars to not ask any questions or criticize the Quran. So how will you know as a non-Arabic speaking Muslims what the Arabic text of the Quran say? You tell me. In the end, the majority of Muslims in the world have to put their trust on the translations of the Quran and only listen to what the imams and scholars of Islam have to teach them. Now as you see here, this is an ayah from the Quran. This is chapter Al-Fath, chapter 48, ayah 9. Let me read the Arabic for you. لِتُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَتُعَزِّرُوهُ وَتُوَقِّرُوهُ وَتُسَبِّحُوهُ بُكْرَةً وَأَصِيلًا. The English translation says that you may believe in God, i.e. Allah, and His Messenger, and assist Him in battle, and honor Him, and glorify Him in the morning and evening. Now, according to Arabic grammar rules, I, as an Arabic native speaker from the Middle East, they taught us at school that according to Arabic grammar rules, the last person mentioned in an ayah like this or in an Arabic sentence like this, all the words that come after go back to the last person and the last person alone. In this case, the messenger, Muhammad. So you have to assist Muhammad in battle, you have to honor or respect him, and you have to glorify who? The Rasul, Muhammad, every morning and evening. So Muslims always say, hey, when you associate partners with Allah, that's blasphemy, that's shirk, that's a no-no. You are committing blasphemy. You are a mushrik, according to Islam and Muslims. But why do you Muslims don't study your own Quran? So you Muslims need to think that blasphemy, shirk, is in chapter 48, ayah 9 of the Quran. Because if you have to glorify, you have to do tasbih for Muhammad, that means you have to say Subhana Muhammad. And when we last time checked, Muslims are only allowed to say Subhanallah, not Subhana Muhammad. Tasbih, tusabbih. Right, Muslims? So, Muslims, this is why we Christians call you Muhammadans, because according to the Quran, you are commanded to do tasbih, you are commanded to glorify Muhammad every morning and evening. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
This is Daughter of Christ. Dear Muslims, you tell us that you worship Allah alone and not Muhammad. You tell us he's just a human being, a messenger, and not God. And the biggest sin in Islam is to partner human beings with Allah. It's called shirk. And so it would be wrong to partner Muhammad with Allah. Well, if that's what you believe, I encourage you to actually open the Quran. Because for a God who does not like to be associated with partners, Allah has a habit of partnering himself with Muhammad a whole lot. Presenting the double act of Allah and his messenger. Obey Allah and his messenger. An announcement from Allah and his messenger. A war from Allah and his messenger. If anyone disobeys Allah and his messenger, an immigrant to Allah and his messenger. What Allah and his messenger promised us. Help Allah and his messenger. Wait, Allah needs help? How can that be? His messenger might need help, he's a human being, but Allah too? Well, I guess since Allah and Muhammad is a double act, if one of them needs help, the other one needs it too. They opposed Allah and his messenger. Immunity from Allah and his messenger. When a matter is decided by Allah and, guess who? You guessed it, his messenger. Wage war against Allah and his messenger. The spoils of war belong to Allah and his messenger. Well, how do you give the spoils of war to Allah? You can't send them to the sky, can you? So where would they go? Yep, to his messenger. Be not forward in the presence of Allah and his messenger. So Allah and his messenger have the same presence now? Isn't that shirk? They should please Allah and his messenger. Allah and his messenger to judge between them. But I thought Allah is the judge. It's one of his 99 divine names, number 28 here, the judge. I guess he's sharing that one with his messenger. Forbidden by Allah and his messenger. The bounty with which Allah and his messenger had enriched them. Wow, I thought only Allah can enrich people with bounty. It's number 89 of his 99 divine names, the enricher. Wow, Allah sharing lots of divine attributes with his messenger. That's not just shirk, that's double shirk, as Hetun would say. This was a preview of Allah's and his messenger's double act. We couldn't show the whole act because Allah partners himself with his messenger a staggering 59 times in the Quran. Dear Muslims, how can you say Allah is the only God when in the tragicomedy that is the Quran, He functions as a double act so frequently, and even shares divine attributes with His messenger? Who are you really worshipping? To answer that question, let's look at this one. That you may believe in Allah and His messenger and aid Him. Aid Him? Which Him? Allah or His messenger? The Arabic just says Him. So which one? Well, we've already seen Allah can ask for help too, so it could be either. And revere Him. Again, which Him? Allah or His messenger? It could well be either. And declare His glory morning and evening. Oh, whose glory? Allah or His messenger? It doesn't say. It just says His glory. Surely it means Allah. It can't mean His messenger. That would be triple shirk. Let's see what the messenger says about this. The Prophet says, "Who recites blessings upon me 10 times in the morning and 10 times in the evening will obtain intercession." Wow, so it's Muhammad whose name should be on Muslims' minds and lips, morning and evening, 10 times. Oh dear, I had such high hopes for that verse. But all is not lost. Allah has one last thing left that's hopefully not also shared by His messenger. Surely it's Him alone whom Muslims speak to in their prayer. Only God should be addressed in prayer, right? And to speak to a human being in prayer is shirk, right? Sadly, Muslims address Muhammad directly in every single prayer to Allah, as we can see here. We certainly hope Allah can forgive Himself for all the shirk He has committed, for the divine attributes He shared with His messenger, and for all the times He associated Himself with Muhammad. Except that He can't. Because according to His own Surah 4, verse 116, He does not forgive association with Him, but can forgive anything else. That is the ultimate paradox in Allah's life. He makes association with Him the one unforgivable sin, and then commits it. Muslims, when will you leave this madness?
Dalam teologi Kristen, sangat jelas Yesus itu adalah Tuhan. Yesus adalah Tuhan yang hidup, bukan manusia biasa yang sudah mati ribuan tahun yang lalu. Itulah sebabnya mengapa orang Kristen berdoa kepada Yesus, memuji dan menyembah Yesus, mengagungkan Dia pagi, siang, sore, dan malam. Praktek dalam kekristenan konsisten, selaras dan sejalan dengan teologinya. Bagaimana dengan Islam? Teologi Islam mengajarkan tentang monoteisme murni, yang katanya hanya ada satu Tuhan, tidak ada yang boleh disekutukan dengan Tuhan. Tapi, bagaimana dengan prakteknya? Dari video ini kita melihat bahwa orang Islam, dalam doanya setiap hari, berbicara secara langsung kepada Muhammad yang sudah mati ribuan tahun yang lalu. Mengagungkan Muhammad di setiap pagi dan petang, mengangkatnya setara dengan Allah, baik dalam syahadat maupun dalam ayat-ayat di Quran, memberikan nama dan sifat ilahi yang sama dengan Allah. Bahkan arti nama Muhammad adalah the praised one. Kalau Muhammad disebut the praised one, bagaimana dengan Allah? The praised zero, atau the praised two? Jadi antara teologi dan klaimnya, tidak konsisten, tidak selaras dan tidak sejalan dengan prakteknya.